All right, so cheers to Hades. It's great.
Cheers to Hades
And all that.
and the Lord of Hell and Satan.
Welcome to Game Soup. Game Soup from now on is a celebration. Okay?
Yeah.
I want you guys to celebrate with us. And in order to do that, you need to pour a drink and cheers with us. Cheers to the new update of Hades.
Let's cheers again, just so people... We have to do it right in front of the mic, though.
Right in front of the mic.
You still didn't hear it because they're not glass, they're plastic.
Yeah.
You didn't hear a thing. Hades had a brand new update today. Massive. It was about 2 hours ago. 2 or 3 hours ago. Massive, massive update.
So it's perfect timing for us. Because we wanted to record a little bit more of this game. At least one more run.
This is the Long Winter update with a new god, a bunch of new...
I recognize that look. That is
everything,
someone who just
I guess.
after having met a most unfortunate demise, courtesy of the notorious bloodless wave makers. How do they make those waves, and why do they hurt so much? Plenty of time to think it over now.
So remember last week we were talking about how every enemy that kills you, so far, this guy has something unique to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
He's referencing the fact that earlier today, when I was testing this new patch, I walked into a room, put the controller down, and walked downstairs. And that's what killed me. And I didn't know that. The wave makers are the guys that shoot those purple arcs out at you.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize that he must have a unique voice line for everything that kills you in this game. It was on the Barge of Death.
It's pretty amazing.
That's actually amazing. They added over 1,000 new voice lines.
What happens if you die in lava? Oh, that spicy hot stuff really gets you.
That's maybe. I've killed myself in lava before. I don't remember what happens, though. I don't remember what he tells you, but I'm sure he says something.
It said that sleep is the cousin of death?
Oh, that makes sense. Right?
I thought that was a line from a Nas song, but is that actually like a... Is that a proverb or something that I don't know about?
It sounds like a proverb, doesn't it? Sounds
Are we looking it up now?
Sleep is the cousin...
It's gonna bring up...
No,
it's gonna bring up the... Yeah, look, there it is. New York State of Mind. There it is. That's the song.
That could be a reference then.
Yeah, all of it is sleep is the... It's all from the Nas song. I don't think it's a proverb.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's got to be a... Yeah, it is said that sleep is the cousin of death. That's a reference to the Nas song. It has to be.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I mean, that adds some points in your book to this game, right? I mean, it's already a great game.
It's a classic album. I like the album.
+1. +1 to Hades. GG.
All right.
So, remember at the beginning of this game, actually maybe you don't know, but you start this game thinking out that Nyx is your mother, and your whole reason for wanting to leave Hell and Hades is because you want to find your real mother. Because Nyx, as it turns out, is not your mother. Your mother is Persephone. And it says here that Hypnos is is this a boy or a girl? Boy. The son of Nyx. So you might have been this dude's brother at some point. Or thought you were, I mean. But you know, this really bothered me.
Nyx and Charon, yeah, they have the same artwork.
It bothers
I kind of hope that they do have a new artwork for it, because it is a little confusing, because all the gods have unique, awesome artwork, but then these two, I mean, not that this artwork isn't great,
Yeah.
but they both have the same artwork.
Well, there's you could theorize about this. You could theorize that Nyx is just acting as Karen, and it's actually the same character. You could, but then you realize that every time you talk to Karen, he just goes, ugh, and that somehow Zagreus still understands what he said, even though we don't understand. So he actually says something, but not in a language.
I'd still make another drawing, even if they're like wearing the same costume.
Yeah. Well, I figured unless this is supposed to be a hint, but that's kind of a little
It's a little on
gauche
the
of you.
nose. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
I imagine they'll probably make another artwork for that, and it's still just placeholder.
Dusa now has in this patch a keepsake. We're gonna get it maybe right now.
You must work harder than anyone in this house, keeping everything so neat and orderly. I don't think it should be thankless work, so thank you. And I'd like for you to have this.
What did you give her?
Nectar.
Oh yeah, the nectar. Okay.
I love Dusa.
Oh, you
She's
said it
great.
all. Don't mean to put you on the spot or anything. I'm just glad we've had a chance to get to know each other.
I'm glad we've had a chance to know each other too. Thanks for the nectar. I can tell it's really, really good. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
So she's like a nerd, like a fangirl.
Yeah, she's like totally in love with you, I guess. Wait,
Prince, your father,
that was a bug.
right now about something. So, maybe you could stay away from him, or I could tell him you're not here.
That's quite alright, too, sir. I'm not afraid of him, and neither should you be. You're the best help he's ever found.
Just doing my job here, Prince.
Did you see what happened just now with the bug?
No.
She flew away the first time, but then the exclamation point remained, and as soon
Oh,
as,
and you could talk to her again?
yeah, and she just appeared again.
Huh.
It's early access, man. It's yeah. And there was another patch just before, like a small mini patch to follow up the big patch.
So, do you think we could go fishing?
There's fishing now. Yeah, we are gonna go fishing. We are gonna fish. Sorry, I know I'm kind of like looking at all these new things in the hub.
Yeah, I think this is a good opportunity to explore it with everyone.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you just wanted to get right to the game, but if it's all
I don't
right
think
with
we're
you.
in any hurry. This is the third
No.
episode we're doing of this game, so...
So this used to be, if you remember correctly, it was just a list of 3 random things. Now it's all organized properly, and you can see all of the things that you can now buy. Most of it's just cosmetic, as far as I know. Like, oh yeah, Stygian towel rack. That's a good thing, right?
Dries those who enter the house in a painful way.
The painful way.
Oh, the painful
which
way.
is, I imagine, where you start the game in the pool.
Oh, the pit of blood.
I won't be needing names
Oh,
for
okay.
anyone emerging from the
Is that what you just added? Oh, we
Yeah.
just added the tower rack. Okay.
I love it.
That's pretty useful.
Before this patch, like before this specific UI element was added, the idea that you're renovating the House of Hell didn't really, like, it was there, but it wasn't really, like, embellished or really developed all that much. And this gives it much more solidity. Is that a word? Solidity?
Yeah.
It makes much more sense now. And they also added, I think all of these things are brand new, I believe. Intricate contraption. Supposedly measures infinitesimal distances.
All right. It costs 300. It's got to
Yeah.
be good.
I don't have enough money. You don't have enough scarabs. We can get this though. Let's get this. Portrait of the Prince.
See why not?
You get a portrait of yourself?
It's my duty to commission this fine portrait of myself.
All right.
I ought to have named you Narcissus instead.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever hang a portrait of myself in my own house.
No?
There are pictures of myself with other people in my house.
Well, that's different though.
Family pictures, I suppose you would call them. But I don't have a portrait of just me, looking at the camera or looking at the painter.
Who would? Does anyone?
You have such splendid hands.
Some people do.
If you have a portrait of yourself in your own house, leave us a comment and tell us why.
Epstein has a portrait of Bill Clinton. Well, he had a portrait of Bill Clinton in a dress
Who knows?
at his estate on
Maybe
Pedo Island.
At some point, I suppose. Thanks for the words of encouragement.
Maybe he thought he looked good in a dress. I don't know. Prophecy foretold. We have to go... Oh, we actually can't interact with it.
Like, everyone thinks that everything they don't agree with is fake news,
No, not everybody thinks that.
Well, a lot of people do.
Anything good?
And I really like that the whole Epstein thing, I'm on the same page as everybody else, that they at least believe it's fake news, right? They say he didn't kill himself. He was killed by someone, right? Someone else. And I don't know if I necessarily think that's... I don't know if that's true. We'll never know. But I do like that at least everyone is questioning the media on that one.
What do you mean
It
questioning the
shows
media?
that there's a healthy distrust
What are they...
of the media.
What are they questioning about?
They reported that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself.
Oh,
in
that.
his cell.
Oh, yeah. Of course,
That's
yeah.
It's kind of a meme at this point.
Well, I
Epstein
mean,
didn't kill himself, right?
Well, of course, but yeah, I mean, the media doesn't have any way to know. They're just reporting what they believe to be true. It's not like they're intentionally lying. I mean, if there is a cover-up, it's happening inside the prison. That's not happening at the quarters of CNN and C-SPAN and PBS and all. They're just...
I think they need to do a better job investigating or present it as if it's likely that it's possible that he killed himself. We don't know, but he's turned up dead.
Well,
That would be a better way to report
what
it.
you want is an editorial then.
I don't want an editorial.
The purpose of news is to present something in an unbiased, non-speculative way. Just to report what happened.
Right.
Right? So
That would be the...
if you want speculation,
My blade.
that's different than news.
Well, you're mostly getting speculation, though, if you look at any news now. When you understand that there are agendas behind all of the news and there's money behind all of it, then
Right.
you understand that none of it is unbiased.
Oh, you're
none
so-
of it's factual.
You're so enlightened.
Not yet.
Are we going to go on this rant now? We could if you want.
We can. It was just an offhand comment, though.
Oh, all right.
We should probably focus on Hades for now, but I do have
guess.
plenty of interesting ideas and heavy topics we can discuss later on.
That's everybody loves those things, especially me.
I do.
I'm full of enthusiasm. Yeah.
I just like when I'm on the same page as everybody else. It's rare
I
for me, so I
gotcha.
like to savor the moment.
Oh. All right. No, I didn't mean to take that away from
No,
you.
not at all. I don't feel that you did at all. I had a nice chat.
Boy, but in a manner you can die, as you now understand. A most unpleasant feeling, is it not?
I'm getting used to it.
Are we gonna go fishing?
Dirty.
Keep an eye out. Okay, we will. It's like in Torchlight, you know, when you see like.
Oh, you
sparkles.
see it in the dungeon?
Yeah, you
Oh,
can't just
okay.
choose
It's
to
like
do
a
it.
torchlight fishing.
Yeah, the only reason I knew that.
Hopefully,
is
it's better
because-
than torchlight fishing. Torchlight fishing was a little boring. You
Actually-
just watched a little oval.
Actually, I think it's worse. But I can't say
Oh,
that for
really?
sure.
Okay. Well, we'll find out. Well, hopefully, we'll
Yeah.
find a fishing spot.
I can describe to you what happened earlier when I play tested it. I walked up to the sparkles and I pressed the button. I was waiting for something to happen, but what had happened was I had already missed the chance to catch the fish. Like the bobber went underwater immediately, and I didn't notice it, and then it popped back up above the surface, and I was waiting, and I was waiting, and I was waiting.
Oh,
and it said,
so you're waiting
too
for a long time.
late. You
Oh,
missed
yeah.
it, and I was like, oh, like there was no like not telegraph, but you know what I mean. It wasn't presented. I didn't understand it. Oh my god. Oh my god. This first chamber luck. Your attack deals 100% more damage. Why is that funny?
Because it seems a bit over the top.
It is over the top. That's insane. That's insanely OP. But I mean,
So you're
that's-
using the big sword this time?
this is the one that
We
gives
used the
us-
bow last time, right?
Actually, I might die. I promised Joe that I wouldn't die on this run, but we're using the sword. I might die.
Okay. Isn't that the sword I used?
Yeah,
I
there's only
played on
one
the
sword.
first episode of Hades.
Probably.
GameSoup plays Hades.
Right? Because there's a sword, there's a spear, there's a bow, an arrow.
I was trying to decide what to name that episode.
Oh yeah,
GameSoup plays Hades. A
Yeah.
wild game appears Hades. But I knew we fully intended to play the game more than once.
Right.
So what should I call it? So I just called it Hades with a few exclamation points. And then Ed saw that I did that, and he was like, "Why did you call it Hades with a bunch of exclamation points after?"
In the past, we've named things like GameSoup Plays, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's a more apt name for it, wouldn't it be? But
I almost stepped
not
on
what
that
we
trap.
did.
This is a little bit loud, I think.
Oh, I don't. It's borderline. I think it's probably fine.
I think it's just gonna come through a little loud on the mic.
Okay, turn it down. Turn it down one notch.
Oh, I
Just
turned it
one
down
notch.
like 8 notches, dude. Because a notch is a relative thing.
I think we can hear it.
Vanquish all who stand against you, noble cousin.
You're a relative thing, by the way.
Relatives upon Olympus shall assist you in so doing.
I and your relatives upon Olympus. So that new god. Oh my god. That sucks.
Your attack is stronger and can deflect. Does that rep your old one?
It does.
Oh,
And actually, I want that one because that one has deflect. This one inflicts weak, which makes enemies do. Hey, they nerfed that. It used to be 50% less damage. Now it's only 30% less damage. But weak is great. But deflect is better than weak because bullets become no issue. But I'm gonna take this one because specials. The sword special is fantastic. This thing, you can upgrade this and in lots of interesting ways. Can we go for this? Yeah. They also added a bunch of new. You know, remember the what is it? The hammer boys, hammer bros. So the hammer that upgrades your weapon.
yeah.
They added a bunch of new modifiers for that. So they're really diluting the pool. I think. I mean, not diluting in a bad way, but just giving you a lot more options. You know, like everything in the pool.
Yeah, that's why I didn't unlock everything in Dead Cells because I didn't
Yeah.
want all the new weapons because a lot of them were crap.
Yeah.
A lot of the weapons and items I didn't want to dilute my pool of potential items that I could get in the game because I liked a lot of what was already there.
I think they did it right here, though. Like, nothing in this game is useless, or it's balanced incredibly well. You know, like... Yeah, all the options can be... Oh, this also got nerfed. This used to be 60%. Now it's only 30% reduced projectile range.
Projectile speed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
speed. Yeah. Oh, why are they?
Yeah, I think Enter the Gungeon did it like that. They pretty much nailed it with the
Yeah.
unlockable weapons and items in the game, because the weapons and items you start with, they're pretty solid. A pretty solid power level, and it increases slowly, incrementally as you unlock more and more items and guns. And every set, and you have to unlock them in sets of 6, right?
You do?
Yeah, you
I
have to
don't
unlock
remember.
6 at a time. With the what the hell are they called? Those green H's that you would pick up.
Oh, not blessings. I don't know.
Yeah, the metagame currency, as we
Right.
call it here on GS.
Make this butterfly grow stronger.
You could unlock the items with that metagame currency in sets of 6, and you would have to unlock all 6 of them at a time. So it was a pretty linear progression. It had the illusion of choice, but really you weren't choosing too much, because there were many, many sets of 6 in a row, and they were incrementally, very, very incrementally, slightly more powerful as you went. And your power level in the game, you would have a slightly better chance of beating the game, obviously because of your skill increase, which was most of your chance of beating the game increased with your actual player skill increase, not with the item increase. But the item increase was enough that it would give you a greater chance of, if you had a completed file, for instance. Like if you were a new player with a completed file with every gun unlocked, you would probably have a slightly better chance of clearing the game on your first try. I'm not saying you would
Yeah,
clear the game on the first try, but you would get further probably because you would have a better chance of getting better guns.
But
If
it's
that
still
makes
like
sense.
90% skill, right?
It's still mostly skill, but yeah, this was a very long-winded way of just saying that it had an incremental power increase with the metagame currency.
Like
that,
most roguelikes, right?
yeah, that was well balanced and nearly perfect in my opinion. So if you could replicate that or possibly do it better, then I think you're in a good place in your roguelike if you're designing one.
I know we talked about this last week. Any game that makes you feel bad for taking damage is a game that is doing its job perfectly. In this game, when you take a hit, you feel dumb. You feel bad because it was your fault, and you could have prevented it 1,000 different ways. You just chose not to. And I'm also using that keepsake, right? The one that whenever you beat a chamber and you don't take any damage, you get +2 to damage, I think.
Oh, okay.
So every time I get hit, I don't get that bonus.
Oh, it really hurts. It hurts your feelings.
It hurts more
Yeah.
because I know what I've lost. And you don't know what you got till it's gone.
It's a better buff for a good player. Not like you.
God.
I just realized that as I said it, that was going to come across as an insult, so I decided to just roll with it and be an asshole. You know, like how if you accidentally cut somebody off in traffic and then you just act like an asshole, like if they look over at you, you just act like, yeah, I'm just an asshole. But really, you actually feel terrible. Does anyone else do that? I don't
don't
actually
know.
do that.
Oh. So I'm going to choose World Splitter. This might be a meme weapon, but I love it. It's one of my favorites. Double Nova is fantastic because it makes your special do double damage. These are all great.
That's
That's
getting a lot of double damage. You already do double damage,
know.
so you might as well take the double damage.
But actually, wait till you see this World Splitter. So normally your attack with the sword is like a slash and then a chop. Now it's just a chop. It's only a chop and nothing else. But it does 4 times base damage. Instead of 25, it does 90. And it already does double damage. They also added this info panel up at the top here.
Look at those stats.
You love stats, dude. You're all about stats.
You
love
are the one
stats
who's about
so much.
stats.
No, I hate stats. I hate games that have progression.
We balance each other out. I like games that have no progression, no stats. You just punch men or cut men
Cut men.
until they fall down. That's what I like. I loved that we could play Diablo 3 together because
Yeah, oh.
my favorite part about it was just, stabbing the
Cutting them.
monsters until they fell down. And Ed plays it because he likes to collect the gear and items, but really I just like the repetitive motions of stabbing monsters until they fall down. Actually, I played as a demon hunter when we played together, so I was shooting the monsters with bullets and arrows until they fell down. But
Fine handiwork, if I say so myself. It's
The Rod of Fishing.
and causes denizens of my domain to flock to it like mortals with temples of mine. Good fortune with that thing.
and Ed was a barbarian.
Dude, that's all I ever play. Barb and
Yeah.
Sork.
Yep.
I'm surprised. Sorry, I just peeing a little bit there. Lost control of my bladder years ago. I'm surprised, Joe, because I think most people would be in the group that I'm in, where people like the game for the progression, right? Like, it's fun to beat monsters up. Absolutely. But the reason you keep playing is for the progression, right? I mean, but as you were saying yesterday, it's like a dopamine thing, right?
Yeah, actually, I was ranting at Ed in an IM, which I try not to do online, but
It
I
happens.
was ranting at
It's
Ed
all right.
about dopamine rushes through video games.
Yeah. You got games that are designed specifically for it.
Correct. Yeah, like MMOs. Pretty much every MMO is designed to give you dopamine hits at specific intervals that are scientifically proven to addict you to the game.
Even Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah, of course, including
especially-
I would say especially Final Fantasy 14. Although Final Fantasy 14, if I had infinite money and I could find someone that I could trust and pay to do all the quests and lore and story parts for me and just get me to the dungeons, I would do that. So
Really?
I could just play the dungeons because yeah, I get really bored with. I don't read any of the lore. I get so bored with it. I watch the cutscenes and I fall asleep.
Yeah, you know, I watch them, but I don't enjoy them.
Yeah.
I think we're in the same boat.
Here's the thing. At the end of A Realm Reborn, I actually started caring for the characters. At the very end, they started to develop some kind of personality to them,
Yeah.
and they started to develop a story, but it was already too late. Like, I cared enough, though, that I was enjoying the story, but then when Heaven's Sword came out, Heaven's Ward,
Heaven's Word.
yeah,
Word.
they again reverted to their very bland, boring characters, and all the characters that I cared about before, I no longer cared about again because they were all
Aw.
bland and boring. And it was, it's like political issues that they're having in their world, and I barely care about political issues in
Yeah.
real life. So
Yeah.
in a fantasy world, I'm completely bored and lost and pretending to care as I play through the game.
Oh, Joe, I promised you I was going to get a clear. I don't think I'm going to get a clear.
Why not?
I'm playing this like a Tardo, like a Ricky Ritardo from I Love Loosely. It's bad, dude.
I love loosely. I love loose leaf.
Yeah, I love loose leaf paper, notebook paper.
I love loose leaf.
This is bad. I gotta say, the sword is not my best weapon. I just did that entire.
We can start
chamber.
over if you want.
Let's not start over. No.
Okay.
I'll get the clear, or else I'll Photoshop it to make it look like it did.
You'll Photoshop the whole episode. You'll draw each frame. You'll hand draw each frame with a pencil.
What?
Scan it into Photoshop.
Do you think that would be difficult?
Color it to look just like the game.
Do you think that would be difficult to do?
That would take a lifetime, actually, Ed.
You know what's
It
messed
would
up?
take longer than making the actual game itself.
That would actually take a lifetime
Yeah.
for me.
There's a lot of things that would take a lifetime. Did you know that you could look at one tile on your ceiling for an entire lifetime and notice different things about it
No.
as you looked at it? It's true. Like, you could draw one very specific piece of the world again and again and again for your entire life and never notice every detail of it. That's how complex our universe is, Ed. Consider this heavy topic.
Consider. Let's go fishing.
Oh, we have a fishing spot.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I think we'll get it this time.
Fishing in blood. What do you think you'll catch? A
Look, it says
bloodfish?
RB to catch.
It just bobbed.
That was it. Did
Yeah, it did. It's bobbing.
got away?
Got away too early.
What do you mean too early?
Your fault, not mine, for coaxing you on to reel it in.
But-
All right, try it again. Try it again.
I can't try it again.
You can't try it again?
That's why I didn't understand it last time because you only get one chance.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying? Though, like,
Yeah,
what-
I saw the lure bobbing around.
I saw it bob once too, and I hit RB.
I saw it bob
and
twice, and you hit RB, and it said too early. Well, I don't know.
Are you supposed to get when it says catch above? It says R right bumper catch. Is that the only time you can do it? Because that's right away.
Well, yeah, it said too early though.
Oh, is it too early?
Yeah, it said too early, so you have to wait. So you definitely, so you have to wait. So it doesn't really explain it to you. It's probably going to take some time to understand how that works. Hopefully we find another fishing spot, because I really want to understand this.
I'm sure you'll get one in every zone, each one of the 4 zones in the game. Damn. They renamed Poison into Hangover, which is appropriate.
But yeah, a lot of games are designed to give you those dopamine hits at specific intervals that are scientifically proven to addict you to the game. And, well, I think single-player games are less prone to this. Single-player games are a little bit more prone to encouraging the player to increase their skill as their dopamine hit, right? Which takes a little bit more time, and I think that's a healthier dopamine hit, to increase your skill at something. Now, to increase your skill at a video game, not really that useful in the real world. It doesn't really give you any long-term benefit. It gives you a mid-term benefit, maybe, to be good at a video game.
I mean, the reason
It helps yourself. Maybe you get on a leaderboard or something. You get a little dopamine hit there for mastering something, but probably better to master a useful skill such as code, which I believe, I was talking to Ed, I was saying that I believe coding is actually the most useful skill to have in the modern world.
Dude, can I?
And that's not going anywhere for
yeah.
for the next several decades, at the least, probably centuries, but at least decades.
Can I interject about that actually?
Yeah,
and
you don't
say-
believe that's true?
No. I was
Oh.
just gonna say, dude, look at my chops right now. Look at these. I got hit. Look at these chops, dude.
Yeah.
Look how powerful I am. Look
Yeah,
how
that's
strong
doing a
I
lot
am.
of damage.
I am so chop right now. You know, when they say something slaps, as the kids.
Really? You know about slaps?
Dude, I'm on Twitch like 15 hours a day.
Oh, yeah.
I know about
guess you would
slaps.
find out about slaps, yeah.
These chops slap, and not to be confused. with
Slap chops. Sorry to finish your joke for you.
That's all right.
Slap chop. Oh, man.
Look at the power of my slaps. How can I slap? You know, this weapon, it feels so good to play because it's got the wind up and it's got the cooldown, and it's just, oh my god, it does quadruple damage. It feels so good.
So what's today's topic? Dopamine hits.
Oh,
I suppose it's
yeah,
today's topic.
I was gonna say the reason that MMOs give you constant dopamine hits is because they're charging you $15 a month, and they have to.
Right.
Because
Well,
they,
I mean,
yeah.
think about World of Warcraft. Is it actually a good game? Is that gameplay loop of you taking a quest, going and killing 4 very easily killable enemies to get their pelts, and then returning to the quest giver, giving him the quest, and then hunting for a certain type of berry and picking it from 5 glowing berry bushes, and then returning to the quest giver again? Is that actually satisfying and fun? Is that as cool as Hades, or playing a fighting game, or
No.
playing a deathmatch in a...
It's not, but
Yeah.
many people argue MMOs don't start until you reach the end game, right?
Right, it's mostly just training, right? Up to that point, you're just drilling yourself through your rotation, which
yeah.
are incredibly complex
Exactly.
in an MMO.
Exactly.
They're some of the most complex games if you play it to the end game, to the highest level at a raid level, right?
So I actually don't know if there is a good and objective answer to that, because you could argue, yeah, they're just training you for the end game stuff, right?
But I think probably most players are not even engaging in the end game raids. Am I right on this?
I don't know. That's
Because
a
I
great-
remember, well, I mean, from my own personal experience playing Final Fantasy XIV, most of the players that I met and most of the players in our guild did not engage in the high-level raids. They just did their dailies, they did the dungeons, they did the stories, right?
Yeah, well, I think the non-raid stuff is plenty rewarding.
It was maybe
That's all.
20 or 30% of the players were actually doing end game raid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The highest level, and only a small portion of them were actually clearing the end game raid content because it was extremely difficult, right?
And that makes sense. Yeah.
We were in that group.
Yeah.
We were in a raid group that was clearing that end game content for a while, but
Oh my god, what is happening?
it's it takes a lot of dedication to do that, and that I think at that point you're kind of past the dopamine hits that are set apart in addictive intervals. I think at
Yeah.
that point you're just playing it to master the game, like you're playing it as if it was maybe a fighting game or a team fighting game against a raid boss, for instance.
So the idea for the first 50 or 60 hours is to lure you in until you can get to that stage where you have enough skill to make that the rewarding factor.
I think it's more than 50 or 60 hours.
I guess it is, yeah.
To really if unless you're getting like an experience boost, and at that point, I mean, you probably shouldn't be getting an experience boost in an MMO, to be honest, because you should be learning your rotation at the rate that it was originally designed at. But
Where are these locked now? These didn't used to be locked.
I don't know.
I wonder if they only lock you to 1 now per run. You used to be able to change these. I'm sorry. Continue.
But I think at the end of an MMO, yeah, it's more. I think it's more about improving your skill and actually improving as a player. If you want to, play the end game and do the raid content of an MMO. But you can also just roll a new character, which I think is what a lot of people do, and then you just get those dopamine hits at their intervals as they're intended.
You know, you're not wrong about that, because I've purposely done that. Now that I think about it, I've purposely restarted in World of Warcraft many times. Purposely restarted in Diablo 3.
Yeah, it makes
many
you feel like
times.
you're accomplishing something, but MMOs are incredibly easy. The only really difficult content is the raids, right?
Yeah, I
The
guess so.
the highest level raids, and those are incredibly difficult.
Well, but like the dungeons still prepare you.
The dungeons are slightly. I mean, that's like a medium level of difficulty.
I don't know,
would say.
dude. You ever play Wailing Caverns? Not Whirling Caverns. You ever play Wailing Caverns?
Isn't that the first dungeon in World of Warcraft?
Oh, no, dummy. It's the second one.
Oh.
It's actually
Yeah, Ed and I, we played World of Warcraft together for a very short time.
That was fun.
It was like a month. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
What was the deal? It was like like double experience or
Yeah,
something?
something like that.
Yeah.
I remember I played as a Huntard.
Mm-hmm.
What did you play as? It was like a mage or something? I think you might have played as a mage or a
I can't
warlock.
remember.
I feel like you were some kind of a caster.
So I remember my first ever WoW character was a hunter that I got to max level.
Maybe you played a
But-
priest. I can't remember.
Oh,
I think it might have been a priest.
might have been a priest.
Yeah.
That sounds like more my flavor. They say my chops are godly, so that's why I would play as a priest. They knew. Yeah. Maybe that's why I love priest in Hearthstone so much. Just have that subtle, oh god, that unconscious.
Yeah, the only MMO that I really got into and played to any long extent was Final Fantasy 14. And
Great game.
I realized that I loved playing tanks at that point.
Yeah, I never. Oh man, it's the same reason I can't play healers. Tanks, big responsibility, dude.
Yeah,
because you're
it
always
is.
going to take
You're the leader.
heat.
Yeah,
and if you're DPS,
yeah, either the healer or the tank is going to take the heat. Usually the healer. Like, to be fair.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
Even as a tank, I'm going to say the healer has more of a responsibility and gets blamed more often when the party wipes.
Actually,
than the tank. But
yeah, I have a theory about that, by the way. Like, the reason the healer takes more heat than the tank is because it's more obvious when the healer fails.
Yeah.
Because somebody dies.
Yeah.
Right. But when the tank, like when you lose aggro as a tank,
yeah.
I think
You can sort of blame the DPS. You were doing too much DPS. Well, you weren't supposed to be attacking with
that is a thing, though, right?
Yeah,
So
that is actually a thing. You shouldn't just, if you're a DPS, you shouldn't just blow all your cooldowns and go all out on the pull, right?
Right.
Of a boss or something. Like, you got to give the tank a little bit of time to build up some aggro. So that's happened to me. Obviously, if you play a tank, that has happened to you in the past, where a DPS is way too overzealous on the pull and steals aggro from you. And the way I like to set it up, I actually don't take quite as much aggro as you might if you were more conservative. I have a little bit more of a liberal style. I like to put my debuffs on first and then start doing the aggro gaining attacks.
That's cool. I didn't know that the game actually. I mean, the more customization it has in that regard, the better, right?
Yeah.
If it lets you do one of those things the way you want to. Oh my
But
Jesus Christ!
I don't usually lose aggro unless a DPS has to be really going.
Oh my God! Look at my chops.
Has to be completely going all out on the pull to take aggro from me when I was playing. I haven't played an MMO in years, and I
Yeah.
don't plan. I actually don't plan to ever play an MMO again. But
Nobody ever does.
as they say, you can only really plan ahead 5 years. So I don't see myself playing an MMO within the next 5 years.
Is that a they or a you thing?
I just say that.
I've only ever heard you
I've
say
heard
that.
a wise man say that before. I don't know which wise man that was because I subscribe to many wise men on Twitter and YouTube, but it was a wise man.
Come here, dude.
Probably.
There are no dumb men on. There's nobody that's dumb on Twitter. There's
No.
nobody that's abusing the platform.
I've been following some real schizos and autists on Twitter recently, and
Dude,
I love
you can't
it.
say that.
Oh, really?
You can't say and.
You can't say and? You can say schizos and autists, though?
Yeah, stop saying and though.
Oh,
Sorry. I mean, because you knew I was going to go for the obvious. You can't say autists.
yeah.
So I had to
What
say.
do you say? Like, there's nothing wrong with being an autist.
No, not at all. But it's the same way that people
They look at things in a different way. We need them, you know? We need some people to be autistic. We need some people even to be schizophrenic. They're tapping into another realm than what normal people can comprehend. Not to say that we're even normal.
That's
Actually,
where-
probably. If there's a scale of autism, I'd probably register somewhere in the, not normal, but not completely autistic, if you would say that. Because there are sometimes I don't pick up on social cues that most people would. And oh God, do we have a lock? No, we didn't.
that was weird. Well, I think everybody does that, man.
Yeah, maybe.
Again, it's well, not again, but it's a spectrum, right? It's called the autism spectrum.
That's what they say.
At one end, you have eidetic memory god. On the other hand, you have Ricky Ritardo from I Love Loosely. You're somewhere in the middle.
But regardless, I find these type of people to have more interesting things to say.
Of course, it's
I guess. I don't know, man. I think everything has something that they think is interesting that they want to tell other people. The question is any of that stuff really valuable? Maybe it is to you. Maybe it
Well,
is.
one topic that has been recently brought to my attention that I know very little about is, are cities real?
What does that mean?
Ed saw this on my notes, and I wanted to talk about it. This is completely new to me. I like all these kind of, these odd theories and people who look at things outside the box. Are cities real, or are they just skyscrapers full of empty floors with nothing going on?
How can cities be real if our eyes aren't real? That's what that reminds me of.
I mean, you can see the skyscrapers, right? And maybe that's just the point. Maybe you're just supposed to see the skyscrapers. But are they really full of people busy doing important work or full of apartments?
Yes.
Or are they just empty? Are there just empty floors? Because that's really creepy to think about. Think about that. Think about all the towers and skyscrapers that there are in cities. And think about how many people you see walking on the street. Are there really enough people to fill those buildings?
Yes.
I doubt it.
What are you talking about, dude? What do you mean? How could there not be enough people?
Dinosaurs were never real. I'm just kidding, but
Do you know how many people live in New York City?
yeah, a lot.
At least 1,000,
But
dude.
I think it's possible that a lot of these office buildings, these really tall skyscrapers, have a lot of empty space in them, and they're just being used to show. Yeah, just for show, to show that there's a lot of economic activity happening in this area. But
don't
maybe
think
there's not
that's-
really.
I don't think
It
that's
might
true.
just be to.
Dude.
took a bite out of me.
Oh, yeah, maybe you're right.
Dude. What? What is this conversation?
Yeah, I'm not really sure this is a new topic to me. So if you know anything, maybe you've seen this going around. Maybe you've seen these topics going around and, getting banned from being talked about. But yeah, I mean, are these cities real?
Who bans them? The lizard overlords?
Protection.
No.
Or the libs? Because we got to own the libs, right? That's all they care about, owning those libs.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, I don't I unfollow anyone who's talking about politics constantly. Partly,
Oh.
I mean, mostly because I find it boring, but also it's just they're just trying to own each other with their facts and figures. I like more interesting ideas, like are cities real? These are the kind of guys that
Dude.
I like to roll with.
Some people might say that facts and figures are the ultimate ownage. Because facts and figures are not up for debate.
I think that they are. I think
Then
that
you're wrong!
I think that the incentive of how these facts and figures were arrived to is more important than the actual facts and figures.
Okay,
But Ed and I greatly differ on this.
I wasn't going to bring this up. Remember we started this episode along these same lines? I wasn't going to bring this up. That is an absolutely bad faith argument. Because there is no level to which I can reach that will satisfy you.
Correct.
Because you can always say, oh,
What are the
follow the
incentives?
money, where's their agenda? Everybody has
Correct.
an agenda. There's
Correct.
nothing that I can do
Everyone-
to convince you otherwise. That is called a bad faith argument.
I've never heard that term before, but
You haven't?
no, it might be true. I don't know. I've
When
never
you
heard
argue
that.
in bad faith, you have no intention of learning or persuading the other person. Wait, what is? That's not right. A bad faith argument. Don't be a dick. That's the point.
The more I understand, the more I realize how impossible it is to understand reality.
That's true. That is true.
Idiocy.
There's so many variables that you're not considering. So to just think that you're right and to think that the facts and figures from the studies that you're being told about in news articles are real is it's too presumptuous.
Did you know that? Never mind. Never mind. Just singing to myself and cooking up a. Why am I narrating? She already said it.
Yeah.
All right. So we get to choose. This is not going to be the run, by the way. I am doing poorly.
Just get some refreshing nectar. We'll get there. We're also talking about really heavy topics here while you're trying to play a video game.
That's the reason.
That's the thing. So if Ed's losing this argument,
right.
it's really not his fault.
But it's okay because I'm not.
It's not necessarily an argument.
I'm not
even.
losing
I
an
think we're
argument.
just having a fun discussion here.
Sorry, I have to eat this deer. Is it rude to eat on camera?
It is. It absolutely is.
That's
And hopefully
good.
on the last episode, the your eating didn't come across on the camera because I looked over to you. Maybe it was on the first episode when I was playing. I looked over and you had eaten an entire beef jerky snack.
Oh.
And I didn't realize you were eating it the whole episode because when you're eating in person with another person, for whatever reason, you don't hear their chewing and munching. Mm-hmm. But when you eat on a microphone, all you hear is chewing and munching.
All right, I have a solution.
The mic
I did.
for a second.
This boss was revised. People had a lot of complaints about this boss, right? Because
Why? Because it's just ads?
it's pace breaking. It was too slow because it had 4 different phases
Yeah.
where you would hit this guy a quarter of his health, and then it would spawn some ads. You bring him
Okay.
down another quarter, it spawns some more ads.
So what's happening now? Is
they-
it half and half?
They removed one of the phases.
Oh, okay.
So I think instead of being split into quarters, it's split into thirds.
Oh,
That appears to be what's happening.
oh yeah. It looks like he's about a third down, and now he's got the ads. And it seems like he only has 3 ads.
Well,
'Cause he,
yeah.
he summons more each time, maybe.
Yeah,
that
that-
might be what it is. Yeah.
He did that before too. But
Yeah, long boss fights. I don't think a boss fight should be more than maybe 5 minutes. It depends on the game, I
dude,
guess.
that's long.
It
Even
depe-
this fight.
It
yeah.
depends on the game. It depends on the game. Yeah, 5 minutes is a long time.
Like a raid boss, right? That's
Yeah, yeah. Like
fine.
raid bosses are usually, I mean, anywhere from like I'm gonna say like 6 minutes to 13 minutes to clear. 13 minutes is high, right?
Oh my God, I'm melting them. Look at my chops, bro. Look at these chops. Look at that damage.
Yeah, the damage is really high, and but somehow you are really getting killed here.
I am. I am absolutely getting killed. I'm playing carelessly. I also don't like the sword very much.
All right.
I had something. Oh, this week I watched somebody play Coil in Final Fantasy XIV. Coil Turn 5 for the first time, which was.
Coil Turn 5.
Do you remember that? You remember that?
Yeah, Twintania.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, we used to play that twice
Every
a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't know, that was.
Wait, why did you watch somebody play it though recently?
I was watching Lobos Jr.
Okay.
And he's playing it for the first time.
Oh, was it really easy now? was it?
Actually, okay. I was surprised.
Was it just cake? It's got to be at this point. But
Not-
that boss was like the most difficult boss in MMO history when A Realm Reborn, before any patches to A Realm Reborn came out. There was like 3 people. Well, there's like maybe 3 raid groups who cleared Twintania, this raid boss.
So, okay, there are a couple points about this. A couple things that you have to consider. After we stopped playing, or at least after I stopped playing, they added something called the Echo. You know what that is?
Yeah, you get a little. No, actually, I forget exactly.
No, you're
what
right.
it is, but
It's
go
a
ahead.
30% bonus to, like, I guess, all of your stats
Yeah.
for
Okay.
when you're doing a raid. So it makes the fight easier.
Yeah. I was playing when that happened. Yeah.
But-
I forgot exactly what the numbers were, but yeah.
But when you and I were in that raid group, the Echo didn't exist. I think it launched, like, right after I kind of stopped playing. I think.
Yeah, I think it was before Heavensward, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped playing before that, for sure. So we were playing at the vanilla difficulty.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Joe is also...
No, just go ahead. Keep talking about it.
Joe is also...
Just talk about it. Just talk about the raid.
You know what's funny is the reason Joe and I know each other is because we met at an anonymous meeting for people with incontinent bowels and bladders.
Oh, I thought it was when you rescued me from a kidnapping by Ben Brode of Hearthstone fame.
Did you just make a Game Soup reference?
Yeah, that was a Game Soup reference that I'm pretty sure almost no one heard, but if you go back and watch one of our arena runs, I think at the beginning of one of the later arena runs, it was a rogue. I believe we played as a rogue. I tell the story of how Joe and Ed met.
You remember this, huh?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we were playing as a rogue, and it was one of the later arena runs.
I would
So
never be able to pinpoint
you'll
that.
probably find it based on that information. If you really want to hear the origin of how Joe and Ed met, you'll find it.
Well, I just told you.
It involved a kidnapping, believe it or not.
Oh, this sucks. We got a Chaos Gate, and I really want to take it, but I'm presented with the option to get more slaps. I think
I would take the slaps,
We
man.
have to, but I think I paid for that gate. So we got to get the slaps.
Oh man, I kicked the power cord out of my computer last night.
Oh God.
I didn't lose any save data, thankfully. I was in the middle of, I had just saved, so it wasn't a big deal. But
Would you kick it out of the back of the computer?
Yeah.
Oh, how did
Yeah,
that
just the way
happen?
my desk is set up is stupid.
Oh.
I'm an idiot. It's because of the way I set my desk up.
Oh, it's not your fault. It's your house. Joe's house is tilted
It
at
is
90,
tilted.
90 degrees angle.
I did find a way of positioning myself in my office that allows me the least, the most comfortable position with a slanted floor.
I got Joe a leveler for Christmas.
The house is so yeah, it's an old house. I live in an old house. I gotta get moving,
Okay.
aka move to a new home.
So here's one of the new things in this patch: Cursed Slash. Your attack restores 5% of your damage, but you
You
have,
do already do a lot of damage, but you have minus 70% health.
So I would get. What would we go down to? What's 30% of 135? That is 13, 26, 39 health. Which means that any boss will almost certainly one-shot us.
So yeah, you're playing really aggressively at this point. You have to be doing damage to stay alive. I think it's interesting. I think we should take it. I think you should just take it. Try it out.
Or do we take the safe thing?
Your attack deals plus 300% damage to armor. I would just take your attack restores 5% of damage, but you have minus 70% health. I would take that.
Consider this: 300% of infinity is infinity because of those
I
slaps.
would take Cursed Slash. Cursed Slash.
Slaps is what they call it now.
Yeah. Well, now you got you have real slaps.
Like 41 health. This is gonna be a. I promised you I was gonna get to clear this run. I promised you, Joe, and I'm gonna let you
Yeah,
down.
but now you have 40 health. 41 health.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm letting you down.
Yeah, if you get exploded on you, you're dead, right?
I can't take more than another hit.
Yeah,
I can't take
you
another hit.
You can't be doing that.
Wait. Can I restore damage through specials or only through attacks?
Only through attacks, not through specials. Oh, but it does restore a lot.
It does, because what is my damage right now?
It's 100. It's really high. You just gotta hit him 2 times. You just hit him
My
2 times and it
God.
restored it from
This-
half to full.
this is
That's-
actually-
it's
yeah.
quite good, but you do have to. Every time you get hit, you're gonna be needing to do some damage.
This is literally
Right
this
away.
is sudden death. That's what this
yeah.
is.
Yes, that's exactly what's just happened. Now
Dude,
you're full though.
This is absolutely
Two,
not.
2 hits to get full. You get hit once, you go to half. You hit 2 times, you hit full.
This is insane. This is not my playstyle at
That
all.
that changes the playstyle drastically.
Absolutely.
I gotta say.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, there's no bad option in this game. Like, there's no option that when you're presented with it, you're like, oh god, this just dilutes the pool of good options. Everything is viable, and it feels balanced. Joe just gave me the weirdest look. I think I just pulled a forehead moment. If you're familiar with the Twitch vernacular, I said something that was not.
That didn't have anything to do with what you said.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
I just might be celebrating a little bit too hard here on this
Jesus.
episode of GS.
Well,
But celebrate with us. Have a drink with us.
We
If
do
you
have-
haven't yet,
yeah.
have a drink with us.
there is reason to celebrate.
Unless you're under the age of 18, then don't have a drink with us.
Well,
But if you're 18 plus in any country, don't care what the laws are, have a drink with us. I encourage you to drink underage. Can you say that? Can you say
Yeah,
that on YouTube?
sure.
Okay, yeah, drink
right,
underage.
because whose fault is it if they actually do it? Think about that.
That's not GameSoup's fault.
How could it be? You don't even know who we are.
Oh wow.
What?
Your life. I'm looking at your life bar. It's really funny. Like when you take a hit, it just goes down really far and then goes up a lot because you're hitting them with normal attacks again and again.
So I know for a fact that the final boss does like 40 damage minimum with any of his attacks. So it's going to be actual sudden death.
You have 48 total
Yeah.
health now, so you've got a little bit more.
Dude, oh my god, look at my muscles. When I chop hard. I love it.
Yeah, you slap, man.
Slaps. These chops slaps. I want to do more fishing. I haven't seen another. Wait.
So-
did we only encounter one fishing spot?
Yeah, we did only encounter one so far.
I hate this game. I hate it.
So we're talking about dopamine hits on the extreme end, which is an MMO, right? This is a really long topic,
Right.
Because we keep coming back to it, but
True.
yeah. So an MMO is, and especially like a cell phone MMO, like some shit like Shadow Legends, right?
What's that?
I'll take it.
Oh, it's our new sponsor, Shadow Legends Raiders.
No,
yeah,
no
that's
way.
they sponsor us now. So if you want to check them out, you can use our referral code GameSoup, and you'll get 10% extra silver, platinum, and you'll get plus 30% XP boost.
Long enough since my last fight.
What a bargain.
That was our ad. It was at minute 49 in this episode for Shadow Legends Raid. Yeah, don't play that game. But
Wait, you're saying this like you've played it and you know what what is happening.
I don't
Is it
know.
a- is it a
But
game?
it's just being advertised all over YouTube and by shills everywhere, and it's really disappointing to see that JonTron has been doing it, unfortunately.
Oh, so you're talking about the new Audibles, what you're talking about, right? Something that is
Yeah,
just
yeah,
as pervasive?
It's just a yeah.
It's a mobile game. It's a
mobile game. Yeah, it's
Let me guess.
I'm sure it's designed to
pay to
be,
win.
Probably, it has to be, right? Because they can afford to pay JonTron to advertise for it, so you know that it's got to be.
Well, is it free to play? That's the question.
Of course. Yeah.
Well, then it's pay to win. Well,
Correct.
not always, but it's 99% of the time, with the exception of Path of Exile. It's pay to win, especially if it's mobile, right?
So there's a dopamine though, dopamine hits in this kind of game. Now I don't know for sure about Shadow Legends, but I can tell you that because it's being shilled by Philip DeFranco and JonTron. Unfortunately, JonTron, but just channels that have millions of subscribers. It is most likely a dopamine hit interval, scientifically proven one of these kind of games that we were talking about earlier, an MMO, but maybe even to a higher extent. I mean, to me, they're still games, right? I mean, I can still classify them as games.
They still have rules and win conditions, right?
Right.
But if you're boiling it that down,
I feel,
that far down,
I feel like it's more, they're taking advantage of the player more, and the player is not getting the dopamine hit from the long-term satisfaction of becoming good at the game, but they're getting it from just the designers knowing how to manipulate the human brain to feel like they're accomplishing something without accomplishing anything at all.
Sure, but I'll be the devil's advocate here. Who's to say that either method is the right one, right? Neither is more valid than the other. So
Okay,
if that's what people want to do,
I think if you're doing it consciously, I mean, I guess if you want to subject yourself to that, to the dopamine hit like a lab rat.
God, if I want to subject myself to feeling good, how could anyone want that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Especially on a mobile platform where you can do it anywhere.
but you come out and you're in your real life and you're depressed and anxious and
Not
you have
because
all
of
the-
the-
not because of the game, but you haven't solved any of your real life problems. You haven't gained any skills that are going to benefit you in the real world.
Well, but you're saying that a game that doesn't rely on that consistent dopamine hit is a game that helps you solve your problems in the
It
real
doesn't.
world?
No, it doesn't. But I think it's a game that can be safely played without becoming. It has less addictive qualities to it.
You think games are addictive?
Yes. Like, do I have to? I thought this was just I thought almost everyone shared this kind of
This is going.
this kind of sentiment.
This is going poorly. I forgot. We're supposed to be racing the clock here. We need to. Oh, we're tied. Sorry. You keep going. I gotta slap here.
All right, you slap them. I'll tell them about dopamine. So yeah, so MMOs and mobile games, I think they're mostly designed to give you dopamine hits at specific intervals and to addict you to the game, essentially. But when you look at old games, they hadn't quite figured out these techniques yet, right? Like old NES 16-bit games up through even like the PlayStation and PlayStation 2 era, I would say they hadn't quite figured these things out yet. Even past that, I think it's gotten refined to a very high level at this point. But yeah, 10 years ago to 30 years ago, the excitement of playing a game came from actually improving your skill as a player at the game rather than being guided along by breadcrumbs such as gold and pay-to-win conditions and
Fair.
and now games are designed more with that in mind. Even little indie games are designed with that kind of psychology in mind, I think,
Should help keep you going.
a lot of the time. So the extreme end of the scale would be MMOs and mobile games. And then the other end of the scale, I would say, would be fighting games.
Grant me strength.
Especially like traditional fighting games like Street Fighter, maybe Guilty Gear, games that you're just going to get crushed at if you jump into it as a beginner and play against people who actually know what they're doing. You're just going to get ruined, and it's very discouraging to get into a fighting game against players who know what they're doing, because it's a pure skill game. It's essentially high-speed chess. Chess is another one, right? Chess is a game that's probably even more extreme example than a fighting game where it's pure skill, and you're just going to get crushed by people who know what they're doing when you first get into it. So that is all player skill. Your dopamine hit comes hundreds and hundreds of hours, if not thousands of hours, into playing the game. you finally mastered this thing, and you get that dopamine hit. You could master a fucking language at that point, which I recommend doing that over learning how to be really good at Guilty Gear or chess.
Yeah.
It's a little more fun to play Guilty Gear or maybe chess, but
I mean, you can make money being the world-class chess champion, or even the world-class Guilty Gear champion, right? But you're going to get a better job learning to code, I think.
yeah, I
right?
think your time is better spent learning a language, learning to code. I'd say learning to code is probably even better than learning a language, but learning a language it can be profitable, and you're going to have a marketable skill if you learn that rather than learning a fighting game. But I'm just saying that the dopamine hit comes much, much later in all cases when we're talking about learning to play chess, fighting games, learning a language, learning to code. All of those things come later. But I would advise not learning to get really good at a fighting game or chess, or even Magic the Gathering, which is has been a hobby of mine for most of my life.
I'm curious, though. I want to ask you, have you ever played something like StarCraft? Where
Very little.
I feel like it's very similar to what you're describing.
Yeah, it's a high skill cap, right?
Yeah, it's one of those games where the dopamine hit
Comes from building a skill
and
to a high level.
like really and that's that's a game that nobody can. There's no ceiling, There's no I'm the master of this. I know everything there is to know about it.
Yeah, you
Same
can
with
you
chess.
can never fully
Yeah.
become you can never fully master it in a lifetime.
These suck. Replenish one use of Death Defiance.
And I think those are the most rewarding things to pursue are those which cannot be fully mastered by a human in one lifetime. So I consider drawing to be one of those things, probably coding. Yeah, I think actually definitely coding.
No argument there, man.
Learning a language is something you can master. Maybe you might not ever be able to master a level of fluency as if you hadn't learned it from when you were a baby, unfortunately.
No,
but
you absolutely cannot.
Yeah,
There's
but
no
you
way.
can get to the level. You can get to a very high level as an adult at learning another language. I think that pretty much has a cap. But
Yeah.
but
a
yeah,
shame.
I think coding and making artwork doesn't really have a. At least I can speak from experience. Drawing artwork, illustration doesn't really have a skill cap to it. I don't think anyone's ever completely and fully mastered every single aspect and been perfect at drawing. It's impossible.
I keep forgetting to play aggressively here. I keep forgetting that I restore health with each hit. So I'm
Yeah.
like avoiding
You have
attacks.
65. You have 65 hit points now, so you have a little bit of wiggle room in a normal fight. Now you
Yeah.
can take 3 hits from those chariots instead of just 2.
Slightly more respectable, but still mostly disrespectable. Respectable. Victal.
So yeah, those are the extreme scales of dopamine levels, from cell phone games all the way to fighting games, up to real world skills such as coding and art.
Hey man, coding. I gotta say, the dopamine levels in coding, nowhere to be found.
Yeah, it takes a long time. It'd probably be hundreds of hours before you get your first dopamine hit. And our world is designed right now, at least if you're connected to the internet, our world is designed to give you very quick dopamine hits by people who have designed their product to give you that. And it's hard to resist.
Oh my god, I can't believe I just did all that slapping. Dude, attack is 30% faster. You know what that means?
You got to take it.
Triple the slaps, baby. We gotta take that. We gotta take it.
Did you just call me baby?
No, I was talking to the person watching this.
Good.
What do you mean good? Why?
So
You have
this
a problem
brings
with
us to our next topic,
Uh-huh.
the 4 blocks, which I am going to give credit to Alex Becker. I watched this video last night on Alex Becker's channel.
Who's Alex Becker?
I linked you to the video, but he's a guy that posts videos about.
You posted. I would have watched it if you sent me a link. You sent me a link?
Yeah, he's a blonde guy. He's got blue eyes. He sits in front of his webcam. He has a cool-looking apartment with barely anything in it.
So like everyone.
I guess.
I don't know. What? Sorry. Okay, keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt.
But I find his videos and topics to be quite insightful.
What was he talking about?
He was talking about the 4 blocks that are in the way of you accomplishing your goals, essentially.
Yeah, okay, I remember
Yeah.
that now. Yeah.
Yeah. So the one we've just been discussing for half of this episode, the dopamine block, right? You need to overcome the dopamine block, which basically means eliminating all things that are giving you quick dopamine hits. Your brain is designed to get these dopamine hits, and marketers and game designers and people who want your attention are trying to give you shortcuts to get these dopamine hits where in the long run you're not really gaining anything from them. So to eliminate things such as playing MMOs. Unfortunately, if you play an MMO, I know you love it, right? It's really fucking fun. I want to play an MMO, but I don't do it because I didn't realize it before, but it kind of solidified for me watching his video on this topic. I think it's his newest video, but it solidified for me that I'm making the right move by not playing games that are trying to get me these shortcuts to getting these dopamine hits. And yeah, just eliminating things that give you those quick hits so that you can focus on your work. And your work, it's going to take longer, but when you get those dopamine hits, I believe it to be better, but also it's more fulfilling, and it also gains you financial gain in the long run in order to, if you master a skill. Wow. That was a lot of circles.
That's what they call the game. It's called a lot of circles.
But it's more worthwhile to master a skill, such as learning a language or coding, art, anything.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wow. Feels like this is more than when I played.
I think this fight got buffed. I don't remember that happening.
Those circles were crazy.
So he
covered almost the entire arena with those circles.
Yeah. He summons a random god. Right? He can summon any of them. Some of them just leave a trail that you have to just, as long as you're running, you'll never get hit by it.
Oh.
Some of them...
Sorry. Go ahead, keep going.
Some of them summon smaller circles, but they summon them randomly, like within a large radius. So sometimes you'll run into them. I've never seen that one. That might be from the new god. Oh.
Keepsakes hold power.
That wasn't even the end? I think this is the furthest we've gotten, though, right?
No, at the end of the last episode, we got to where we are right now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I've been taking my sweet old time with this right now. But we are at the final area of the game. And to be safe, because although we haven't died at all, right? We have 3 deaths defiance. But I'm going to take a 4th. No, do I want to take that, though? Yeah, I should probably take it because of the final boss. So this was also nerfed. This used to restore 150 health. Now it only restores 90. So they're bringing out the old nerf hammer.
So I do recommend that Alex Becker video, but watch it after you finish watching this episode, of course. But I'm going to summarize it for you probably faster than Alex Becker did while we're playing this real quick. So yeah, the dopamine block. Stop playing MMOs and stop doing things that give you that quick dopamine boost. Number 2, the second block, stomach block. Don't eat heavy food before you need to work. If you can handle it, well, you can handle it. But the best thing to do is either to not eat breakfast. I know that sounds crazy because people say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, or to eat a very light breakfast, right?
That is complete propaganda
so
from
so that you're not spending a lot of time digesting the food, right? Because it takes energy to digest food, and you need that energy, that blood going to your brain, so that you can function at maximum capability. So obviously, after you've eaten like 5 Guys, hamburgers, and fries, you're not getting any meaningful work done right after that. I've never done it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a whole lot of suppositions. I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, like, let's say you're not working at your maximum capability.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because your stomach is full of bad oils and carbohydrates, and your body's spending a lot of time digesting that food, rather than you being. It's not conducive to being productive. I agree with Alex Becker on this one. I noticed that I'm more productive when I haven't eaten a very large meal. When my stomach is either empty or I haven't eaten a heavy meal at the very least recently.
I would be firmly on the other side of that. I would say it depends entirely on what you eat, when you eat it, what kind of work you have to do. I don't think you're not like a battery where there's only a finite amount of energy and it can either go to digesting your food or to your brain.
I think so. I actually think you are more of like a battery.
You get the energy you get, and your brain is the most important organ in your body. So your brain gets priority. I might be wrong.
Well, if some of it's being drawn by the stomach, though, I think it would. I think it takes away. This is completely from the gut and from personal experience.
It could be anecdotal.
Yeah,
But
this
do
is
not-
anecdotal for
do
me.
not call it
Hey, maybe
intuition.
it doesn't work for you. All right, but pay attention to this. See, try and get some coding done or some art, whatever it is that you do, whatever. Or if you have a job, see if you work better at your job or at your coding or whatever you're doing after you've eaten a heavy meal of meatloaf and mashed potatoes, or if you have been fasting for the last 8 hours or so. If you haven't eaten anything for the entire day up to hour 8. I mean, you might argue that there's a point where you can't concentrate. You're so damn hungry.
Check this way.
I'm going to advocate for that side, because if you're not eating, if you're fasting. Now listen, don't get me wrong. I did intermittent fasting for a long time, and it was great. And I do think it confers some mental benefit.
Yeah,
But
I think maybe that might also be a long-term solution. You might need to get yourself used to doing intermittent fasting
I'm
in
going to
order
be
to
the
get to that level.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. But let me be the devil's advocate here for a second. And your argument is, if you're digesting food, your energy is not being put in the brain as much, right? So let me take the opposite side of this completely unsupported coin by saying, oh, if you're fasting, then you're not putting new energy into your body. And it takes more energy to reach into your body and remove those reserves than if you had just fed yourself something. So it makes more sense, and you'll feel better and more energized when you eat something as opposed to when you're fasting. Do you see what I mean? Did you see how I created an argument out of nothing, using no evidence at all, and purely anecdotal arguments?
Yeah, that's what I do all the time. Is that what you're trying to say? Is that
No, that's not. I'm not
'Cause
trying.
that's what I do. I fully admit to that.
It is true. I'm not trying to say that, though. I'm not trying to attack you or criticize
I
you.
understand.
But I'm just saying I can just as easily make the exact opposite argument.
Yeah,
because
I've
it
told
doesn't-
myself that argument before, but my experience, obviously it's anecdotal, but my experience says that when I am on an empty stomach or after I've had a light meal, I am much more cognizant and do much better work.
So what's happening here is you have an anecdote. Oh, I just got poisoned. You have an anecdotal experience, which is then confirmed by somebody on the interwebs, and that solidifies your opinion of that anecdote.
Hey, this
And
might not work for you. Might not work for you at home. Might not work for Ed, but it works. I feel like that works for me.
Oh my God! Look at this giant. This a giant rat. Oh my God! Oh my God!
You gotta drain his life. I'll keep it alive. I'll keep,
gotta drain his life.
I'll keep an eye on your life.
God.
Barbara. Yeah,
Oh
you're-
my God!
you're
Oh my
being
God!
bled. You're
Oh my
being
God!
bled.
I just died. I just died. I just died.
What just bled your health out like that?
I was
so fast?
poisoned.
Oh,
You take 1 damage per
don't
half a
get
second.
poisoned. Well, don't get poisoned.
It's funny because every area in the final area of the game has poison in it.
Oh yeah, well you're screwed then.
That's why I took the extra death. Oh my God! I should have just kept attacking. See, I panicked and I stopped attacking because I was
Yeah.
looking for the cure station. There's a cure station.
Yeah, don't
It's
do
this
that.
thing.
Just
See,
the rat is your cure station.
anything is. Look at this.
Everything is your cure station.
As long as
at
I
this point.
mash. Yeah, you're right. I can't die except when I panic and forget to attack. I think that's all it is.
You have 72 hit points now. You should be able to keep that going.
Yeah. Also, I think I took a damage reduction bonus somewhere.
So that's stomach block, as he called it, what we were just talking about. So the third one is purpose block, which is what I kind of labeled it. I don't know if that's exactly what you want to label it, because you don't necessarily want to block your own purpose. But if what you're doing serves no purpose, if you don't see yourself giving value to the world from what you're doing, you're not going to be operating at your peak performance.
I also disagree with that point.
Oh.
110%.
Oh.
There are people who go around mass murderers. Well, they don't go around the mass murderers. They are the mass murderers. There are people who go around, I don't know, throwing trash on the ground and not caring about it, or breaking into houses and stealing.
Okay.
They're not concerned with what they're providing to the world. They're looking out for number one.
Okay.
Purpose doesn't factor into it.
No, not for them.
They're simply surviving.
Yeah.
So you're saying purpose block. If you want to operate at peak efficiency,
That's what we're talking about, yeah. We're not talking about losers who steal and losers who who throw garbage on the ground and don't care about anything. We're talking about people who want to build something, who want a better humanity.
But those are the people who are not concerned with what other people are doing, right? They are free to devote all of their mental and emotional energy into whatever their practice is. You know, getting better at their artistic talents or music. Oh, I'm going to die again.
No, you're not.
Oh, thank God. Right? Those are the people.
Just keep hitting, man.
They don't have to worry about picking up after themselves, or they don't have to worry about the welfare of others. They can devote all their mental energy into, if they're an artist, to drawing art.
Well, they're not. Yeah, but they don't have a purpose. These type of people, they're not. They don't tend to be.
Well,
they aren't artists.
what if
They
they're
aren't-
artists?
They're not going to be.
What if in their spare time, not spare time, but what if in the time they aren't killing, they are a decorated and celebrated artist, well regarded in the community, and attends my church,
You go to church?
and he always looks at me weird when I see him. He always gives me that strange, weird look. But do you see what I mean? Like, providing something to somebody else, while I absolutely agree is probably a natural thing, like a natural evolutionary instinct. I don't think it has anything to do with your peak efficiency on your own projects and your own works.
Well, I think it does.
I think it's important to feel like you're leaving a legacy. But if you're killing, I guess that works too.
Well, I have a new opinion on leaving a legacy, but I'm not going to get into it because we need to finish the 4 blocks here.
We're okay. Yeah. We are almost at the final boss. In fact, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a random assortment of gems, purple boys, yellow boys, and red boys. I think. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
So the last block is garbage block. You want to block the garbage. So you want to get rid of objects and people in your life that are not conducive to you accomplishing your goals.
Got this delicious sack of meal for you, boy.
Why is everything so expensive?
If you have too much shit, if your house is a mess, your office is a mess, your room is a mess, you got too much garbage, you got too many anime figures, you know, those like resin figures.
Whoa! Way to call them out, dude.
Yeah.
Why?
Too many, I'm just saying that's like one object that you could just. Now, if you have one on your desk of like a character you really like or something,
Cerberus bribed. It is bribed. I love it. Oh,
I think they're cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you have like a big, your house is just like full of junk, you know. I'm just saying, like, that's a specific thing. Or if you collect action figures, I don't know. I guess if that's like really your thing, if you're really into collecting action figures and you're not trying to build something, build a game or build
Then let us now commence this ugly business yet again.
accomplish something like that.
we didn't see this fight.
If that's your purpose is to archive action figures, I guess. But
Yeah. Maybe your purpose is just to be a brainless consumer, a general consumption, like part of the masses. You're just consuming things that other people make. You're just a drone. Let's talk about this fight, though.
okay,
So this is the final fight, or is it? Not to spoil anything. Is it? I don't know.
it's probably not. If you're saying that.
But we didn't get here last time. We got to just before this. This is Lord Hades. This is our father. This fight, I read in the patch notes, has some new tricks up its sleeve, but I mean, so does everything at this point.
He did a lot of damage. You gotta keep hitting.
That's what I was saying, right?
Slap, 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 slap.
He deals 40 damage, I believe, with his base attacks, or it might be, okay, looks to be
That
about
was
half
21
that,
damage.
but I know why that is.
That's
It's
a lot of
because those green skulls make you take... Wait, what do they do? Do they make you take double damage? I kind of forget. So when I said I knew what I was talking about, I don't, but he deals a lot of damage. Suffice it to say. I think boiling
Keep
blood...
slapping.
Yeah. I don't remember what boiling blood does. For some reason, I thought it made you take double damage, but I don't think that's true.
Kill the ads.
Focus.
Keep
Dude,
slapping. Keep slapping. Slap them.
Ain't nobody gonna touch me when I'm slapping this hard. Do you see? God, you're such a...
Okay, so just to finish the fucking topic,
Such a little slapper, baby.
Yeah, just
Yeah?
don't worry. Don't feel bad about throwing shit away, selling stuff that you don't need, things that aren't getting you towards your goal. And if there are toxic people in your life, even if they're family, there's nothing wrong with. I mean, after you've made some effort to repair the relationship, to cutting them loose and not spending time with them anymore because yeah, people are taking away from you accomplishing what you want to be accomplishing. It's kind of harsh, but you can't have them in your life anymore. You can have them in your life, but you're not going to accomplish what you want to accomplish if they're sapping your energy and your time from you. Oh no!
You're right. You're right.
So that's essentially garbage block, and that's essentially the entire topic.
Let's finish this.
So we went from dopamine and then through all the blocks.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
I was also going to add that staying in shape, keeping your health up to a reasonable state is also beneficial, but not entirely necessary. I hesitate to say that, but
It's absurd. I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt you again because I know I keep doing that. We're doing 261 damage with a frontal attack, and what was it?
Yeah.
301 with a back attack.
Yeah.
What's 5% of 301? 10% of 30. 15 health with each hit.
that's a lot.
I think this mechanic is a little broken. I think this
Pretty
is
good. Yeah,
this
you
is-
just need to keep mashing it on.
Yeah, they added this today.
Yeah.
Like 5 hours ago. I think it's broken. 'Cause I don't think you can die.
He might show you.
He might show me.
I mean, yeah, you just have to take a lot of burst damage, essentially.
Yeah, which I guess is not that hard to do. But at least in boss fights, it's not common enough, right?
Yeah.
Because you're usually just fighting one opponent. That was easy, dude.
Yeah, you pretty much just mashed the attack, right?
Yeah, I didn't deserve that. That was not fulfilling.
The same as you.
I should have died.
Yeah, it's hard to balance a game with so many variables and so many mechanics.
But I love it. Because, I mean, the feeling you get when you're slapping like that is too good. It's too good to put down, and it's very fun. So, like, yeah.
Cut that. Cut that out of here and make a song out of it.
The feeling you get when you're slapping. Christ. Oh, this is new. Okay, so I'm on the Discord for this game, right? I check every once in a while for
Oh, cool.
information about the game. They used to not. This screen used to not be here. So the only thing you used to see was the thing on the right side, the victory thing.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what perfect clear means.
Well, you got one, so
How could it be?
congrats, man.
But how is it perfect? I died once. Took a long time. It wasn't my speed record. I don't know what's perfect about that clear. But now this okay, the point of that was when I'm on the Discord, right? People will show me their victory picks, which is the lineup of boons that they've gotten over the course of the run. But I don't have them memorized by look only. I don't know what those are. Like when somebody, if you just look at just this section,
Yeah, those icons are actually kind of hard to read.
they are. They
Yeah.
are. Well, it's difficult because there's like 8 or 9 gods, right? They all have like 5 to 10 boons or something. So you're never going to memorize them, and also they're small. But
Yeah, they're a little complex.
Yeah.
I think the artwork for them is actually a little bit complex. Maybe if it was more black and white, a little bit more simplistic, more symbolic, I guess would be a better word.
yeah,
Then it might be more readable and you might understand more of them. But you still have to memorize a lot of symbols to understand what someone's clear screen.
but at least they're
Looks like.
presenting it. Yeah. Well, but they're presenting it now. Like this info bar along the top is brand new, so that shows you their percentage increases in damage and resources, and also this thing in the middle. I don't know what determines which of these show up, right? Because let's see, Heartbreak Strike. That's like attack damage increase. This one is the weapon that you pick. This one is some random boon that I got. Like I don't know why it's showing these 5 when I have all of these other ones too. I don't know what determines why it's those 5 because it's very strange. I'm not really sure. Like it shows your
It
companion.
just shows the best ones. I don't know.
And maybe I
It's
mean
got a couple legendaries and a duo.
yeah, I guess maybe those were like maybe the highest tier. I guess, but now I can't look at the other ones. You used to be able to mouse or not mouse over, but like hover over these and it would still tell you. Okay, there you go. But like why didn't it show me premium vintage? Maybe that saved my life and we'll never know. Battled out of sticks. So he completed the game with 5 heat. Out of 32. 32 is the heat limit.
The oft-impatient Zagreus appears to take repeated deaths in stride, and so here comes another one for him.
That's the best part of the game, actually. They haven't completed the ending for the game yet. So what they do,
I'm counting that one as a victory.
What they do is when you beat the game, they kill you. But they have like 20 or 25 different voiceover lines. One of them says, the arrogant prince crossed the street, not realizing that a chariot was coming from the other direction, and promptly ran him over and killed him. You battled out of hell and killed a literal god. And you got hit by a chariot at the end and died. They came up with all these funny ways to justify killing you in the end because they don't have the ending in the game yet. And they're all, they're all spoken. And they're all very funny.
Pretty used to dying like this, huh?
Wow, dude. That's pretty toxic. Pretty toxic. Yeah, you're kind of a...
Go to your room, Zagreus.
Why is everyone being so rude to us right now? We're returning victorious and everyone's being so rude.
I think it's because we killed Dad.
I have to hand it to you, Zag. You're really putting in the work to get me to forgive you after all you've done. I'm honestly surprised.
So is he our boyfriend yet? Has that happened?
I have not.
Have you fully romanced Thanatos yet?
I don't think I played this game this week.
Oh.
Or did I? Since we last met up, which was only a couple days ago, I don't think I've played it since then.
Ah.
So.
Feast of Oz is really going to be something, Fan.
Oh, feast.
Yeah.
You know what kind of feast they talking about. Like I can talk to him again. All right.
You know, Hypnos, he adores you. Besides just driving you to madness now and then.
I'm rather used to the relationship, thanks, Zagreus. Seems like you got to know him pretty well.
Well, dying repeatedly can end up bringing people closer, I suppose.
I don't know what's worse, dying repeatedly or Hypnos. Although I guess I'm grateful for your patience with him, Zag.
He's like an annoying little brother to me.
Why does Zagreus have a distinct English accent and many other characters do not? I'm asking the real questions here. I'm not afraid.
You did it again, Cerberus.
See, even Hades has a distinct English-British accent. And listen,
The Hound of Hell.
even Cerberus has a distinct British-English accent. That's so weird.
Your presence is no longer welcome here.
You've been kind of quiet over there, Joe. What are you thinking?
I was just listening.
Oh. So we have more options? I think we just unlocked a bunch of stuff.
The only thing I really regret, I mean, great run. Great run. I
Yeah.
don't want to take away from it. The only thing I really regret,
Yeah?
we didn't have a successful fish.
We didn't! Do you want to hunt down a fish scenario right here? Or do you just want to not do it?
I think we better just end the episode. You're going to have to figure out how the fishing works on your own.
These warriors with both hands tied behind my back.
Hey, Orpheus.
On one foot. Lord Poseidon dared me to do it, you know.
Why, that is a spectacularly vivid tale, Zagreus, and most deserving to be chronicled in song. Would that there were a poet here still willing to commit such deeds to verse.
Oh,
Not that there were, mate.
I thought that was you. He is the...
Yeah, that's Orpheus' job.
Yeah, it's kind of his thing. Oh? Are we about to get romanced? By this oven?
Dead have utterly no use for sustenance, although they try to feast upon it anyway, as though imagining the customs of the mortal life brings them some sense of peace.
I wish I did not know that.
Can I also say about this? On the Xbox official Xbox Bone controller,
Yeah.
the bumpers are connected inside. I can tell because when I press on one, I can feel it in the other one. Chintzy.
Cheap.
Why aren't they separate
Cheaply
buttons?
constructed.
Because when one of them fails, I will feel it in the other one. There's like a... There's a bit of a give now in one of them. Which means that I can always feel it in the other one when I'm switching between them.
Yeah, the Xbox One controller, it's a little, yeah.
I mean, we've both
cheaply
been
made.
through.
Yeah, we've been through a couple of controllers each.
We got off on the wrong foot from the start. Just
They had the best feel to them, though.
no type of blood, I guess.
Right now.
Yeah, right now.
Crossed paths
I-
much since.
I really hope that GameCube controllers are still as good as I remember them being.
But they're your sister.
Because I would prefer one of those to almost anything.
Something in common, some way of, I don't know, seeing eye to eye.
Except they got mushy after a while. The B button especially. Yours got particularly
And they
mushy.
also only have one L trigger.
Yeah. What was up with that? It was called the Z button on that
Yeah,
controller.
it has disadvantages. I think the overall feel of a GameCube controller, like for a game like Smash Brothers or something, it's perfect. But it's not perfect for every game. Like in a 3D game where you need to look around with the right stick,
The
not
C-
as good.
yeah.
Yeah.
The C stick, yeah. I mean, it was fine. It was perfectly functional. I mean, what separates it from like a PlayStation 4 analog stick, other than the fact that it had notches, right? I think the give was a little different.
Yeah.
It was a little looser, maybe.
Yeah, I think for some games I'd prefer a GameCube controller, but for other games, probably Xbox 360. I think I like the best of modern controllers.
What a
Not
bargain.
Xbox 360, Xbox One controllers.
More of those.
Xbox.
Yeah.
What do they call it? The Duke.
Not that one.
Oh, you know what that is? Okay, yeah. Now, that's the one that you meant, though. I think because that's.
I
Right?
have played games with that one before. I played through Gun Valkyrie with one of those.
Oh my God! I'm so sorry.
And Halo.
We're referring to, by the way, to the very original first Xbox controller there ever was. It was massive, and most of it was just empty space, right? It had that giant green
Yeah.
X in the middle,
Yep.
and it had remember the black and white buttons?
Yep.
Ugh, what were they thinking? Oh, dude, look! The next run is with the gun, which is the greatest weapon in the game.
Should we do another episode?
I thought we were done.
I mean, you got to clear.
Dude, I am more than happy to keep playing this game. Maybe you should play, though, if you want.
Oh, man.
Or we could do Gemcraft, because that just came out, and that is also great.
All right, we should probably do that. Let's do that.
Dude, look, I just noticed that... I hope this is new, right?
Yeah.
Look at the shells on the ground.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
But it's not cool, because
Why?
look what happens. Look how they spawn and how they land. They land like wet bread.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, they don't bounce at all.
They just land.
Yeah, they do pretty much. They do just land.
You know what's cool, though? It looks like they... Is it possible they're reflecting? No, I don't...
No, they're just
No.
a drawing.
Wait, are you sure?
They're just a drawing.
Even in the air?
Yeah. I don't think they're 3D. I think they're just a drawing.
That's the most...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
Oh,
they're,
sorry.
they're as underwhelming as possible, but there are shells coming off. I suppose it's better than it not happening at all.
That's like painting over the Mona Lisa with a stick figure a little bit. Like this beautiful 3D game. Look how they just flop to the ground. I think you're right.
They're like Twinkies or something.
Yeah, they do look like Twinkies a little bit, don't they?
Yeah. Wet bread, essentially. Why are Twinkies always wet, by the way? What are they wet? Wouldn't the water dry out of them eventually?
Eventually, but they're sealed in those plastic bags, you know, like little...
Is it water, though? I believe that it's alcohol. Actually, that would dry faster. It's got to be oil, then, because oil doesn't dry.
Oh, yeah, no. Oil's
Probably
kind of
just
wet,
oil.
right?
Yeah, it's probably just oil.
Maybe this
I mean, aren't they deep... Are they deep fried?
I think so.
Might be why. Might be why. I want this one.
Okay, so we should just wrap it up. So this is Hades.
Oh, yeah.
Ed's really good at it. He got a clear. You're probably also really good at it if you're watched this far.
I mean, the only reason I'm good at it is I've done 63 attempts.
What is it, $25 retail? It's in early access.
Yeah, it's $25.
I don't know how you could pass this up for $25 if you have any interest in this style of game at all.
And also, it goes on sale. It was on sale just over Christmas, and it came with a copy of Pyre, which I regret not having bought. So $25 is still a bargain. If you ever see it for cheaper, just get it, dude. What are you doing with your life? You know what I mean? Sorry, I interrupted you, and I probably interrupted...
There wasn't anything to interrupt. No, you didn't
Okay.
interrupt anything.
I probally cut off your train of thought.
used the pact on my way out.
I need to use my pack.
There was
on
no
the way
train.
out.
There was no
Alright.
train.
There's no train? Not even a hype train?
Nope. Alright, so thanks for watching Game Soup. We like you, we like us, we like the way you look, we like the way we look, and we're going to like the way that you look.